Hey everyone, I think we're back.
Oh my gosh.
Promises.
There we go. Yeah.
Andy, why are you cut like that?
I don't know.
You weren't
I
like
don't
that
care.
before.
He goes to the gym.
I do go to the gym. It's
Sorry.
true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he does those Iron Man run things.
I do. It's true. I do the obstacle course races.
I can't
Are
run
you,
down the street, but Andy over here. Well, hello
All right.
again.
Are we back
yes.
on?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
still see Goblin Kid. Okay.
Nope.
Oh,
There
there
we
we
go.
go.
There
We're
we
back.
go.
All right. I will move this way. I think.
Yeah, that's correct.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Wait.
All right. We are back, everyone. Thank you for being patient with us. This is gonna be fun when it goes up on YouTube. I can tell.
I'm so sorry to everyone watching this.
It's not a Mutants and Masterminds Monday Netherwar stream if we don't break Catherine one way or another.
Oh
So.
my god, I broke myself. This is atrocious. Look at Andy's forehead. You can only see half of it.
It's good. We're good. We're great. We're back on track.
Makes it
That's
a
right.
2.5 head instead of a 4 head. Oh,
Alright,
Uh,
everyone. Where were we when I was stressing about fixing the windows?
You could take a moment to talk about the time you knocked down Pyre
Yep.
with the meter.
Yeah.
Do we need to recap anything? I mean, this is gonna be like a two-parter on YouTube, I guess. I don't
Oh
know.
boy, yeah. So we've spent the entire first half of our thing before we had our little bit of our technical difficulties. Basically, we've been recapping all of our Netherwar series up to this point. So we went through the prologue, the Nerian Nexus, which was book 1, Terminus, which was all character-related stuff for all of our players, which was all made up on the on a week-to-week basis by Alex based on the stuff that we did. And we are in book 2, the Pentagram Peril, currently hunting down the Bloodstones of Vaka. We talked a lot about our character's growth over that time frame in the last episode. Well, the prior to our taking a break. And we'd gotten just around to the point where we're talking about fighting Nightfire in Southside and dealing with the Factor 4. So we touched about it while Kat was trying to fix her technical difficulties. But one of Centuria's defining moments and her now catchphrase is the fact that she is the attacker because of what she did to Pyre. So do you want to give us what went through your mind when you were trying that out, Kat?
Okay, so I get really unhappy with myself because I'm not very good at setting the scenes. So everybody else in this group is really good at I don't know, they're here's what I'm doing, and it's really it's like watching a movie, you know? Andy will be like, all right, I grab my stone and my hair turns this color, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then he falls to the ground, and it's just really cinematic, and I'm always like, Centuria punch guy in face, and I didn't know what to do, but I didn't want to just do my normal thing where I'm just gonna punch him. So I was like, what's around? Is there a parking meter? That sounds good. That could use that as a bat. And Alex was like, yes. And then that's when that happened. And then I think it was I had to roll an attack roll against his dodge roll. And we got the same roll, and he was like, oh, that goes to the attacker. And that's when I said, I'm the attacker. And yeah, so that's how that came to be. But it's really just sadness that I'm not as good as making scenes as the other people that led that to be.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
clearly you're great
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. That's insane.
I'm always like, I'm gonna punch him, and then that's what happens. And then Kevin will be like, I run so fast that I just burst into dust or whatever the fuck. I'm sorry.
Turn into a lightning bolt and go back in time to
And
give
I'm
yourself
like,
your own powers.
what? And then Calvin is like, I'm gonna pull out the boxing glove arrow, and I'm like, I don't have cool arrows.
You don't need them.
No.
You
Yeah.
don't need a arrow to punch people.
No.
You can just go over there and punch like 10 people in one turn.
But it just feels crappy being like, I'm gonna punch him, like over and over and over again.
You are because you're like a juggernaut of fist flying, like you just, and you're just like clearing the landscape. That's amazing.
I
Which is-
appreciate y'all, but like that's just how I feel, and that's what brought about the parking meter was because I needed something different.
I think all that you need to do, Kat, is if you feel that way, just go research a couple of boxing punches and just throw out the names of them.
Gonna start doing like cartoon scenes.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Gonna start putting like rakes on the ground so that the enemies step on them. And it just hits them in the...
Yes.
Just do the Popeye flex next to a bad guy and then punch him in the face.
Yeah! I'm gonna like down a can of spinach next episode, and then I'm just gonna punch him in the face.
You have to slurp it through a pipe. It's happening. It's not how you eat spinach.
Oh
And
man.
everyone else would just be like, what is she doing?
I've never seen super breath used that way before.
I think we're all used to the weird by now.
It's true.
It's so true.
But that would be new weird, and that would be like, wait a second.
Oh, we're going there now.
Yep. So we had we caught Pyre. We had the whole oh gosh, let's break the demonic magic from Pyre and save his life.
As Pyre insulted every member of the...
Every-
Yes.
I mean, I guess
Yes.
so. I feel like it was mostly Bowman, but
I feel like it was Bowman in Overdrive.
It was, yeah.
Like, he was getting on Overdrive.
Yeah.
And he was trying to do it to Resonant, and then she saved his life, and he's like, oh, okay, I guess she does have powers.
He called Centuria a real hero, so,
Yep.
you know, I'm just that good.
Apparently, you're now a member of the GI Joes. Congratulations.
Yes.
All right. Well, so we dealt with Southside, and next up was Antarctica.
Yes.
Ooh.
And for all of us that were not ready for the cold,
yeah.
The cold doesn't bother me anyway.
I know, Elsa. I know.
So yeah,
But
we
yeah.
knew. Oh, sorry.
Go Go ahead.
Okay. I guess because we knew what we were going into. So yeah, at the time, I was like, well, I don't know. Let me actually prepare for this by putting some environmental protection in the suit. And I wish Jonesy was here because he totally caught what I was doing instantly. In that I had like the Arctic suit, like the white-colored Arctic variant of the suit, the new toy that you have to go out and buy. He picked up on that right away.
Yes.
That was exactly what I was aiming for.
Yep. And while we were in the Arctic dealing with some sort of eldritch horror, we ran into, well, everyone's favorite villain to hate besides Phoenix, the Arctic Fox.
Okay,
You
the Arctic
yourself.
Fox is still cool,
Yeah.
and I need y'all to chill. Me and Calvin love him.
I mean, yeah, left over from Heroes Inc. and also because he's really cool.
Yeah.
He's the high-tech villain.
We can't be having this conversation without Jones here to back me up. Like, this isn't fair. This is not a balanced conversation.
Yeah, you're gonna be outvoted now. Or a tie vote? I don't know how
No,
he feels.
I'm indifferent to the Arctic Fox. I like it, Alex uses him to a good. He uses him to a good level where it's basically like he doesn't overuse him, and when he does use him, he uses him where he's appropriate and annoying to the players, which is why. But remember, he was a main villain for the Heroes Inc. group, so
Yes.
Yeah. In my first game ever, which was Mutants and Masterminds with Alex, I played a superhero named Raven, and she was a shapeshifter. And we met Arctic Fox, and as soon as he turned on the Russian accent, I was like, I want to date him. And so I like went out of my way, and Alex, of course, lets me do like all of these things all the time. And so we ended up finding a way to age him down so that his body was younger. And then we got married. And so if I ever get to play Raven on this channel, I don't know exactly what he's gonna do because I'm married to the Arctic Fox in that universe.
I don't think we'll go back to that universe exactly.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, you get to play Raven, but the Arctic Fox is still a bad guy, and I'm gonna cry.
Oh.
You don't get to play that, so Raven.
I really want to fight this guy. I know it's not going to go well for me.
No.
But
No.
just, man, like, badass normal hero versus badass normal villain. I want it. I want it so bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
because when Arctic Fox was escaping, you decided to shoot a tracker arrow and put
Yeah.
it on his ship.
Which he totally did not notice, as
Absolutely
far as I know.
not.
Yeah, no, I remember that moment. I remember seeing that roll, looking at my bonus and being like, I can't physically beat that roll. There's nothing I can do, but I spent the hero point. I gave it a try. Yeah, I don't know where that's gonna go. That's another thing that, again, it's that push and pull of RPG games. Like, I don't know. I saw like Alex put the character out there. I thought he was cool, so it's like, well, let me just tie a quick thread to this guy before he flies off into the sunset. So now that's out there for me to pull on some other time.
Or for Alex to pull on it when you least expect it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, also that.
Yeah.
Because he will do that. So yeah, we did manage to defeat the Eldritch Dragon. I think that was what was down there.
Yep, three-headed dragon.
Before
A lot of
Jonesy did
team
what he
moves.
did, I was gonna be like, I guess I can just launch it into the sun. But but then Jonesy had like an actual good plan.
Yeah. So we
Oops.
ended up we beat that. We went back. We had a little bit of a respite, and then we headed underground. We went into Subterra, which is pretty much getting everybody caught up right now. We ran into a bunch of Lafandi soldiers, which is the Lafandi are the people from Resonance Homeworld. Basically, have managed to breach the dimensional barrier between Earth Prime and Lafandi, which Resonant did, well, 13 years ago. But when she came into the world of it, it was one of those things where that ripple was so quickly healed back over, she couldn't get back home. So she's been stuck on Earth Prime for 13 years now. And now her people are coming through and invading, and that's kind of contrary to what she last knew about her world. But we kind of left off after defeating the Lafandi soldiers, the ones that didn't escape to go report back to Resonant's uncle. We ended up face to face with Dr. Tectonic. So for all of you watching this at home, Dr. Tectonic is the beginning of next week's episode. I'm not sure if it's a fight to start or if we get a little bit of something else. We'll just have to find out when we get to next week's episode. So, like I said, we're still in the middle of Pentagram Peril, which is book 2. We'll be finishing that up probably in the next couple of weeks here. And then I think we're going to do a little bit more character stuff from there. Jump back into book 3. I think we like this little grouping that we've got here where we do a book before we jump into some character specific stuff. So that's kind of our thought pattern for going forward, although that is subject to change on the whims of our GM, who is not here. So, but anybody have anything else about Arc 4, our Pentagram Peril arc?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm really curious about like Resonance backstory and stuff. I want to go in there. I want to see what that's about. I want to make a gem arrow. That's kind of my main thing right now. But no, I'm curious with what that all is about. Also, those dudes aren't back in Lafandi yet, if I recall. They just went somewhere else to. Yeah, so maybe we should grab them.
There is a chance we could catch up to them. We just don't know where they went because they teleported somewhere else. So, but we do have Agent Emerald.
Yeah.
Herself, so
who was really super cool.
Yeah. That was I think that was made up pretty much 15 minutes before the game happened.
That's the best things.
Yep. I got a call from Alex about an hour and a half before the game session. He's like, I need info on Lafandi. I'm like, okay. And as we were getting ready for the game, that's when she got a name and she got a little bit of a backstory, and we just kind of went with it from there. So, but yeah, that catches everybody up to where we are currently. So we did want to talk a little bit more. We want to talk some character stuff. We wanted to talk relationships. So where do we want to start?
Well, I'm
I
going
don't
to
know.
just mention the fact that, Bowman was like, I didn't say it was a date. Because I will never,
Okay,
I will never get over that. Because
that is something I didn't want to bring up again
No.
in a future session because here's the thing. Bowman shares my brain, and my brain sometimes isn't so smart. When I was saying that, it was more of an intention like, I didn't say we were going on a date, so the fact that it was ruined isn't such a big deal because that's not what it was meant to be. It wasn't meant to be like I didn't actually care about what was happening kind of thing.
No.
But I didn't realize how it came across. Like,
But she
like,
thought
Calvin
it was a
didn't
date, which was the
Yeah.
whole problem.
Yeah,
Because
no,
you were
I-
like, I didn't
Boys
think
are
it was a
stupid.
date.
Oh, well, do you get to talk, Kat?
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh,
yeah. Wait a minute. What about Thunderbolt? Huh?
Yeah.
Poor Thunderbolt, honestly. If
like he
if
doesn't have a
Overdrive
physical body.
chooses-
His girlfriend dumped him for some speedster guy. Like what the?
I
heck?
was never his girlfriend.
That's true. You just
And he
replaced
doesn't have a body.
You replaced his girlfriend. Like how's that? Like that's.
It's even
Okay,
worse.
I'm trying to replace Overdrive's girlfriend, is what I'm
Right?
trying to do.
Let's not go
One
there
thing at
just
a
yet.
time.
Like that's, yeah, one thing at a time.
But I do feel really bad about that, actually. Even though
Yeah.
it's like he's just Thunderbolt and he's not even really part of our game, but I'm like, man, I did him dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah,
he was
we
like,
gotta-
do
we
you want to
gotta
hang
do
out
something for
again? No.
Yeah, we
Oh,
gotta
boy.
set him up with some new friends.
Yep.
He needs a hobby or something.
Dude.
Poor guy.
He needs an energy girlfriend.
Oof.
Maybe we can find one.
But
But yeah,
no, we were
like
talking about Sophie, so yeah, keep going with that.
again, so like my thought process was, it wasn't intended to be a date, so it's okay that it got ruined because now we'll have an actual date and that'll be fine. Like he
No.
definitely promised that'll be totally fine.
No.
So yeah, no, that's definitely something that, like, since I realized how that came across, I definitely wanted to have a moment where he might call Sophie back and be like, hey, by the way, I just realized what I said to you.
If you watch, like, that's one of my favorite episodes to watch because if you watch my face during that whole conversation, I'm like, stop! I'm like, stop talking!
Yeah. Dig up.
I'm like, if Brian ever said any of that to me, no. So it's just really funny because I'm like, oh my god, Calvin doesn't know how to talk to girls. Holy crap. Shrugs.
Which means Bowman doesn't. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good thing she still agreed to this second or first
Yeah,
date.
she
I
called
don't know.
it second date, and I was like, according to him, it's the first date.
Yeah, because according to me, I thought that would be better. Obviously. But yeah, no, it is actually another thing that I added to my list of things that makes Sophie suspicious from a player perspective.
Definitely.
Oh my god.
Oh, so we kind of know how some of these character shippings have happened. I want to know from your guys' perspective, how do you see the dynamic between us as players? Like, who's who if this was a family?
Like, the players or the characters?
The characters. Sorry.
I don't think we can be a family because I ship everyone with each other.
Yeah.
That's That's wrong.
Gotcha.
Because I still want Bowman to be with Resonant. And obviously I want Centuria to be with Overdrive.
And Mortis gets Nick, and that's it.
Mortis has Nick. I mean, Mortis can have Davy. If you want.
Davey's part of the team?
Damien is part of the team.
I
Fair
think
enough.
Overdrive and Resident have kind of a brother-sister relationship going on. I mean, there's a little family dynamic in there.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of feel that between all the OG Liberty League members, that almost sibling-esque dynamic.
Yeah, except for Daddyless.
Yeah.
Well, he's obviously the dad.
Yeah, obviously.
Especially when Paul gives us the stern voice. Like, we've been out past curfew again.
He's the only
Sorry,
person that
Dad.
could get me to leave Davy behind.
That's
Only
true.
person.
Yeah.
And I
Not
regretted it
divorced.
immediately.
Oh man, yeah.
So I
Totally
want to
couldn't
ask
use
you
it.
guys, I want to ask what your players' thoughts are about Davy, and then I want to ask what you as players, your thoughts are. So I mean your characters and then you guys. What are your opinions about Davy?
Okay. So Resonant is the only one that's actually picked. I think besides the little bit that Overdrive has picked up on, Resonant's the only one that really kind of has an idea that there is something going on.
That he's alive.
That there's something more than what's going on. So she's a little concerned that that's the fact, but he's been helpful so far with everything. I wouldn't say that she's going to trust him implicitly, but when his stuff backs up her stuff, there's at least that, it's like, okay, it's corroborating. He's not doing anything to lead us astray, but is that coming in the future? So there's a little bit of like hesitancy to completely say, yeah, let's just go with what the doll is
Davies.
apparently. Yeah, what Davy's apparently telling Centuria, because it's like I still need to verify that that's actually true if I can, and if not, I'm gonna be like,
When I just like tied him to a piece of my dress and was just like waving him around like a metal detector. That was
Yeah.
so funny. I hated that. But anyway, what does Andy think about Davy?
I think I've been thinking he's been some sort of like Mixelplixic or Batmite type of Alex plot device that he's thrown in here. The more Alex has utilized him in different ways, has made me go like, okay, he's gonna throw something along those lines at us when we get to some point. We've given him a couple of ideas for sessions with Davy as a more pronounced character, and it's just like, okay, if we get to that and that's what he does, I won't be surprised. I will be like, okay, yes, I'm glad I called this, and oh crap, what are you putting me through?
I'm gonna have to go to therapy, Alex. I'm never gonna look at a doll the same. Alright, Kevy, what is Overdrive's opinion?
Overdrive has sort of a love-hate relationship because after all, it's his action figure. But on the other hand, like at first it was just kind of like, oh, this is just poor Centuria's way of dealing with her trauma. But like I heard the freaking thing sniff, like something's up. So yeah, so like I mean, obviously it's cool to have your action figure, but at the same time, there's something off there. So Overdrive is kind of on the fence. I think it's a great. I think it's a great element to the game. Like I said, love comic books. I love the fact that comic books are like that, where the mashup is always acceptable.
Yeah.
So you got your magic, you got your regular super, like you got horror. It all works because like it's such a melting pot genre, and I really like. I just like the way it's playing out. I think it's great. I don't know if it's gonna turn out to be some great elder evil thing or just some little imp. Like Andy was saying, like
I refuse to believe that that's
it's
what's
gonna be
going to happen. I refuse. You won't do that to me.
Oh, Alex can be devious. You better watch him.
Trust me, I know. But I refuse. Alright, Calvin. Calvin, your turn.
Whew, boy, what does Bowman think? I mean, at first he was still like adjusting to Davy the same way he was adjusting to New Centuria. In that it was just like, this is just part of who she is, I guess. This is how she dealt with the thing that she was going through. And then as it went on, he might have gotten more used to it as a person. Like he might have personally gotten more used to seeing this, even though it's still super weird.
Just Centuria being Centuria.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it. Like he just met this person, and this is the thing she does, and she does this all the time. So Yeah, he's had to adjust to it. Still very strange, especially like the at the party, just bringing him along and then like talking to him. That was still weird. Like even out of like even like trying to be like in a normal-ish situations, like still talking to him. Still weird. So yeah, it's still like completely strange. I think it's like a thing that every time he sees it in a new situation, he's gonna be like, yeah, that is weird. And they take a few seconds to process and like, but that is just who she is.
And Calvin?
Oh, that thing is evil.
That
That is
no bones about it.
there
He's
is
not. He's not
there's
evil.
something going on there. I don't know what. I don't. I got my own mystery to worry about right now. Okay, I got my Sophie board. I don't have room here for Davy, but there is something. Something's going weird in Riverdale right now. Okay, there's something up with that doll.
I think you guys need to trust Easier. 'Cause
Nope,
he is a good doll.
it is just way too creepy.
He's helping us, is he not?
I think that makes it worse.
Yeah.
That's when the Stegosaurus says to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, "Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal."
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
The clones were very helpful too until Order 66.
Oh my god.
right. What's Davy's Order 66?
God.
Oh my gosh. Let me see. Did I have other questions? Who else wants to talk about things?
Oh, did we have any questions about character specific stuff like powers or inspirations or anything of that nature?
I mean, we could just go around talking about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy, go for it. Start us off.
So my character Resonant is actually kind of based off of an anime character from the Rise of the Shield Hero anime. It's one of the Therese is her name, and she is basically a gemmancer in that universe. And she can easily switch back and forth between like a fire gem and an ice gem when she uses her magic. That was kind of my drive for that. But I also was then playing on the City of Heroes stuff for Defenders and Defenders and Blasters to try to do the difference between the teen years and the adult years. So I kind of mentioned that at the beginning, but yeah, that was kind of my inspiration for Resonant. It's the second character I've made that's had that anime as a reference point. So it's a good anime. I like it.
All right, Kev.
Oddly enough, I mean, I know obviously Red with lightning bolts sort of harkens to Flash,
What?
but
Ooh.
in all honesty,
Who?
Flash, you know, that guy from
Who's
DC.
Flash?
Savior of the universe.
Not that Flash. Not that Flash. But in all, like in superhero games, my predilection runs to Paragon types. But when we first did Heroes Inc., someone already has sort of claimed the Paragon slot. So I tend to, when I play a speedster, it tends to be a nod to my younger self. I was born a speed junkie. Like, I couldn't wait till I drove. Forget waiting to drive. There was a big hill outside of town. We would push our bikes 2 miles up this hill and then screaming down over the hill at top speed. The first time I went skiing, I'm like fast down a hill. Like I just always was looking for a speed rush even before I could drive. So my speeds are like, I've played some sort of dark, you know, or brooding characters, but when I play speedster, like that's my inner child going, oh hell yeah, we going fast. So that's you know, I've done a couple speedsters. I don't know that any of the other ones were on stream, but my speedsters tend to be larger than life and loving it because it's got that speed rush going.
Okay.
Cat.
So obviously I just sort of took over Centuria and made it my own, which I've already talked a bit about. But my go-to character is dark and gloomy. I very rarely play characters that are like happy and peppy. So I I've pretty much just made Centuria a character that I'm comfortable playing and that I could have fun playing. She was actually, like I said earlier, supposed to be way darker and way like grittier, but I thought this would flow and sort of go over on stream a little bit better. And I love her so far, and honestly, like, I'm so glad that I made her a little bit, like, I don't know how to describe it, but like more aloof and more like floaty than she would be if she was super dark and gritty and evil and gross. But yeah, so that's really all I have to say. I'll just go ahead to pass it to Calvin.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know if I've been subtle about my inspirations for Bowman. I kind of wear them on my sleeve. If you can see the font behind me.
Yeah.
I was inspired by Green Batman. But yeah, like it's I definitely like I would look back on, you know, other comic book archers. I would look at the Green Arrows, the Hawkeyes. That was a heavy inspiration for all the Trick Arrows, certainly. Just going to their Wikipedia pages or whatever and reading all of the arrows they have and writing those down. But definitely because I had to start off with the character as presented in the lore, the way he was already. Then I had to like springboard off of that. Well, like how can I change this into something that I might have fun playing with? And again, like he was also supposed to start off a lot darker, but it's kind of hard to stay a dark and gritty character when you're having so much fun. At least for me, like I don't know, I'm laughing too much to be grim all the time. And then when then he had reason not to be. So like it was even harder to do that. So I guess that's kind of part of where he ended up as a person. But yeah, like I mentioned before, just like I listened to that particular soundtrack, the Arrow soundtrack, just to get into the mood because I don't know, it's just really badass, and I was real nostalgic for Arrow, and I guess playing Bowman just hit at the right time to like combine with that. I don't know. I was nostalgic for it, and his stupid catchphrase that somehow sounded really badass when he said it. That's why I had to have my own catchphrase that hopefully also sounds cool. That I need to use it more.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. What else do we have? Anything else, anybody?
Personally, do you want Dave to end up with Centuria or Trace? Go around the room.
You know, so part of this is the.
Be careful, Andy.
I know. It's I'm gonna stick my foot out there. I'll let it get run over. I guess that's what's gonna work.
Oh no.
So one of the things that I like to do or don't like to do as a GM is I don't like to step on my players' toes. Right. It's so if the players are going in one, if the players give me a backstory and they're giving me a romance that they want to have, I wouldn't try to interrupt that. I would probably throw some difficulty in there, like what's already happening, but I wouldn't push for that difficulty to supplant what they already had in mind, unless there was some reason for them to be thinking that it was. So I would defer in this case to basically what does Kevin see the natural progression for things? Because we've already seen that there is some affection between Overdrive and Centuria. It's very awkward from his side.
Yeah.
So I like, especially because this is two player characters. It's like if it's a player character and an NPC, it's a little bit harder to judge. But this is a player character, an NPC, and a player character. So you've got that little dynamic. You don't want to tell the player character that their background doesn't matter. You want to let them play it out, and you want them to make the decision. So.
But what's your vote?
My vote is abstain.
Screams of no reply.
Rude.
Oh my. That's my catchphrase.
Well, we hadn't used it tonight, so somebody had to.
That's true. That's true. We
I
had to
had
work
to throw
it.
it in there.
It is.
Kevin, are you going to take the easy way out as well?
No, and you know, like I said a couple times tonight, like I like the role playing aspect of things. I also like that things aren't necessarily like carved in stone. Like this, how's it go? I honestly torn on how I want this to go right now. Like, part of me feels really guilty that Dave is even considering. Like I said, this with the fact that Dave is torn about this, I think makes for good drama, which makes for a good story.
I
Like,
agree.
and it's almost like no matter how it turns out, it's going to be tragic for somebody.
Yeah.
So like that's always a good dramatic hook for a story. Like there's what, like 7 different types of story, and what makes the difference between one that people remember and one that people don't care about is, did you care about what happened to the characters? So I think that's good. And I think my lack of decision as a player like shows through in the characters and decision, but I think that really builds kind of
Yeah, I think
what's
that's
going
how
on.
he would be though. So it
Yeah.
sort of
Oh
works.
yeah.
All right,
Like,
Calvin, don't let me down.
Bad for Tracy. I gotta say, I really feel bad for Tracy. But, I mean, come on. What do you want me to say? She carried his action figure from another universe. Come on.
I know.
Yes, Calvin. Yes. Me
Look,
and
it's
Calvin,
just
man.
it's so fun to watch Overdrive struggle with that. I'm really happy that I'm not in that position, at least until I don't know. I know Kat's pushing for this Bowman resonant ship. I don't know where that's going.
I want that to happen so
But
bad.
no, well,
especially
because
Sophie's
now I
totally
see
evil.
what that's like. I don't want to get in the middle.
It's okay. Sophie's evil. You're not even gonna have to worry about her, and then you can just.
Well, can we talk about Sophie? Okay,
Yes.
because I need to talk about my board.
Yes, talk about Sophie.
Okay, so freaking Sophie, I don't know what her deal is. Like, first off, agreeing to that second date, pretty suspicious.
Sketch.
Why would she do that?
I wouldn't have.
No, but more specifically, like that moment where she was just like looking around at the cases after the museum robbery. I remembered that. I wrote that down. She was looking at the Bloodstone case. I don't know why. She made an offhand comment that Thunderbolt doesn't have a social life. How do you know that? You don't know him. You don't know what he does. There was another
Well, we're
comment.
pretty sure he can't leave that suit, so.
Yeah, but like she doesn't know him personally. She doesn't know what he gets up to. She doesn't know like mechanically how his suit life works, right? He could have a social life.
You
That's
went
all
on
I'm
a
saying.
not date with me.
Exactly. Also, another offhand comment is she asked. Hi, Alex. She asked Fletch if he was gonna give a superhero speech before he went up, and I was like, "What an oddly specific thing for you to say about Fletch."
She knows.
So yeah, like I don't know. There's stuff there. There's stuff there that just like makes like my player brain go off. Like something's up here. There's like, if it was one of the things, then I'd be like, oh whatever, it's one thing. But since there's more than one thing, I feel like she knows something or is up to something. I don't know. Agreeing to that second date or first date, that was just real suspicious.
It is sketchy.
Sophie is sus.
Incredibly
She's so
sus.
Yeah.
But she's so cool at the same time.
It's
Like
the
as an
best.
NPC, just like genuinely seems to at least want to genuinely help out her community and stuff. And you know, she puts up with Fletch's whole thing.
Man, it's like I'm waiting for her to be like the Catwoman.
Oh, that would be super. Oh my god, that would be super cool.
Oh my god. If that happens, then he's never gonna get with Resonant.
They had one conversation.
Yeah, wait. I actually also wanted to ask this. Where is this coming from?
I don't know. Y'all had like a nice conversation that was sort of sweet, and I was just like, oh, they'd be super cute together. And then I just carried it on, and now here we are.
Like from my perspective, it's like, oh, I have like well, I guess from Bowman's perspective, it's like I have to work at like repairing this whole thing with this group of people who I held like this deep hatred for an entire decade. So I don't know. I guess Gemma just happened to be first on the list or the easiest to talk to because she tried to talk to him before. He hasn't made any inroads with Spooky and Speedy yet.
It's true.
That's why he was like, so yeah, I'll apologize to her and then tell her to tell everyone else I'm sorry as well. That's sort of where that was going. I didn't think of it as a shipping thing, so I don't know.
I'm just saying that I can ship whoever I want, and
It's
I
true.
ship Bowman and Resident together.
The Shipmaster General over here.
I'm so torn between like I want to push Cat's buttons, but also I don't want to end up in the position that Kevin is in right now.
Yeah. So watch it.
Mess around.
Watch
You
it,
get
or
hammered.
Centuria's gonna come after you next, Bowman.
Oh god, I don't know. Andy, how do you feel about this? Save me from talking about it.
Andy.
I mean, so
Andy's here for it, see?
I don't go into the games to have my characters have a relationship. I did specifically in Titan City Lost in the Forgotten. I had that whole relationship figured out with one of the monsters that was lost, and that was, I wanted to make sure that that was played out in an organic fashion of her really kind of realizing that she did want that kind of relationship. Resonant is, I don't think she's at a point where she feels comfortable taking on any kind of relationship. She's still kind of, I feel like she's still kind of a little bit between worlds. She's trying to put this pseudo family that she adopted and then abandoned back together, and now dealing with obviously the extras that have been added in and trying to make all of that work. So I don't think she's even thinking of things in that kind of format.
I am not enjoying Andy's answers tonight.
You have failed this cat.
I
know.
I am sad. I tried to ship Andy's character with somebody in ETU too, didn't I? Ah,
Yes.
Cody! It was with Kevin!
Yes.
I mean, let's face it. Cody was all over the map in ETU.
Yes.
That was.
Low-key, that was fair that nobody else shipped them together. But I just thought that...
Well, that last episode, I thought, okay, where's this going?
Right! I was just like, okay, it could happen. She could bring the best out of Cody. And the same could happen for Bowman.
Cody is so not me. Like, that was such a bizarre. I don't think I've ever had a character that's less me.
I both love and hate Cody. Like,
I feel the same. Like, it's such a joy to be that doofus.
I mean, I think we all played like sort of weird characters in that, because like, I guess not all of us, but I was like a mean girl. And that was weird for me, but I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
I feel sad that at the end of the season we're friends now. Like it's Cody, like your whole Corey and
Aww,
Connor.
it's okay. If we
That
ever
was
do
good
season
stuff.
2, I'll pick it up again.
Okay,
We had a touching moment at the end.
we did.
I would literally pull up C names, like on my phone, and I would screenshot them. And then whenever I had to say your name, I would look down and I would just pick one off of the list. And I would say it.
That's glorious. That's glorious.
Yes, but that's a different game, and we're not supposed to be talking about.
Oh yeah,
that
sorry.
right now.
No.
I wax nostalgic from time to time.
Yes,
Yes.
we do. But I think we've probably touched on everything, and I hope that we have given anybody who uses this as a jumping on point for
The
our
balance.
Netherwar series. Yeah, I hope you guys have had enough background and backstory that you can just kind of jump in and join us going forward with anything. If not, feel free to please go back through our whole back catalog of episodes and pick out moments that we've talked about and kind of see them for yourselves. They're always going to be out there on YouTube for you guys, for
I'm
everyone.
not terribly tech savvy. Is there a section on the new website where they can kind of just pop off questions? Does that happen, or is that in development kind of thing? Or
On the website, I'm not sure if we have anything for questions. I think there might be a contact us section. Obviously, we do see the comments on YouTube, on the YouTube videos too. So if anybody wants to drop a question there,
Yeah.
They could do so as well. So I think with that being said, I think we're gonna thank everyone for joining us tonight. We had, I think we spent almost as much time recapping as we
talking.
do playing. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but I think we've all had a really good time tonight, and I hope like I said, I hope we provided you guys enough information to kind of jump on and join us moving forward. We'll be back next Monday with another episode of Netherwar. We get to, like I said, face off against Dr. Tectonic and continue delving deep into Subterra. Tomorrow night, we've got our episode 3 or 4. I'm not remembering right. I think it's 3. Yes, episode 3 of our Blue Rose D&D 5th edition campaign, Tales of the Finest. Jonesy is running that. Brian is in there. Will and Andy, no, not that one, because he's not me. And then Wednesday, I believe our hunters are back from their little hiatus. So the Order of the Penrose Triangle, so our Monster of the Week game will be back on Wednesday as well. Friday, there will be a new episode of Something Something Dragons, which is our podcast where Aaron runs his daughter and a few of her friends through their first Pathfinder AP. That's a lot of fun. They're running, I'm not even going to remember it now.
Carrying Crown?
Yes, Carrying Crown. That's right. I even played that one and I just couldn't think about it. So that's a lot of fun. That's a podcast you guys can download and listen to at any point in time. I believe our contest did end. We were running a contest because I believe next week will actually be our 1-year anniversary of USP. So
Wow.
the whole month of June here should be a little bit of a celebration of the fact that we have made it a friggin' year. But we were running a contest for art that was gaming related, or short stories that were gaming related on our website. We'll be if we got any submissions, we'll be going through those sometime soon here and getting our winners posted and everything else posted to our blog on our website, which is untoldsstoriesproject.com. You guys can go out there, look at stuff from all the games that we run. We've got blog posts from myself, from Alex, from Will, from Aaron, just talking about different things about gaming, all that fun stuff. So we hope you guys enjoyed everything. I'll let everyone sign off one last time before we head on out of here tonight. Kevin?
Well, my name's Kevin. I'm sitting on the dock of a bay, just watching the time roll. So yes, I'm the old man by the sea with all those memories, and I am here on Mondays for whatever superhero shenanigans are up. There's lots of great shows on other days of the week. Make sure you check those out. Check out our website. These are great people. You should come and see us more often. Over to you, Calvin. Oh, sorry.
Dang.
The captain has spoken.
Skipped. Go for it, Calvin. Have a great time.
Oh, are we going clockwise? Okay. Well, hi, I'm Calvin. Again, I'm here every Monday playing Music Masterminds, and so incredibly happy and grateful that y'all are having fun with me and asked me to come back because, highlight of my week right here. I just look forward to it every day that isn't Monday, and then more so on Mondays. So, having a lot of fun here. And of course, if you want to see more of me, just head over to the Win with Dice channel where we do weekly GM tip podcasts. We did a lot of Lancer stuff last month that I had a lot of fun with, and again, we got to talk to an author who's done some work for Lancer. So we had a lot of fun with that. Just go check it out if you're interested in the game, or check out our previous streams where we actually played the game. We have another one coming up sometime soon, and we'll announce it on Twitter whenever it is. And with that, we'll pass it on to Kat.
Thanks, somebody, for passing it to me.
Oh man, the shade.
Technically, everybody but me passed it on to you, so I mean, I'm the bad guy here. Again.
Kevin. Okay, but anyway, I'm Kat. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I obviously have a great time because, the streams are filled with literally just my ugly laugh all of the time. So if you want to hear more of that, just keep on watching us. But I'm having a great time. I love these people. I'm so excited to get back with Alex and Jonesy next week. And again, I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties in the middle of tonight. It was a little rough for me, and I'm not used to running the game. So My bad. But other than that, I'm just gonna say good night, and I'll pass it back to Andy if he has anything else.
No, I think that's going to do it for everyone here at USP. We really appreciate your guys' support and everything. So just come check us out. We'll be here next week. See you,
Watch all the
everyone.
episodes.
Bye.
Bye.